Yo, 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 what is good, everybody? Welcome into the Free Money Show here, coming to you live with another episode of Across the Pond, the soccer/football betting show for Friday, August 18th, 2023. Coming to you live after a 1-2 day and a backbreaker loss, but we start Galatasaray clean sheet, plus 100 even money. Galatasaray took care of business. That team is going to be a problem in the Champions League, I have a feeling. So down the line, we will definitely make sure to be attached to some of their games. And the second, Slavan Bratislava to win either half, plus 210. They scored in the 85th minute. Then Maccabi Haifa decided to play spoiler and score a goal in the 93rd minute. This extra time seems to be just killing us on the last day and has been for the past couple days. They then made a draw in the second half, so that was a loser. And then lastly, Marseille to advance, a minus 125. Matteo Guendouzi, just brutal. He allows a pen to be had on the other side, and they then make it 2-1 to bring it to extra time. Extra time finishes. Guendouzi starts and misses the penalty kick that just sets them down a bad track. Marseille lose on penalties and get bounced. Brutal. But have no fear, the winners are here. We have 3 more plays and finish the 15th down 1 unit, bringing the show total to 7.91. We have 3 plays here for the day, so let's get into it. We start with the Premier League in England. Pick number 1, Nottingham Forest, moneyline, minus 115 on DraftKings. FanDuel also has it. Forest has their first home game of the season after a tough, hard-fought 2-1 loss to Arsenal. And the last game, their expected goals was higher than Arsenal. They themselves, Forest, had a .97 expected goals with 1. Arsenal, .84 with 2 goals scored. And they played much better in the second half. A bad first half put them behind early, with 2 goals allowed in the first half from Eddie Nketiah and Bukayo Saka. Matt Turner had 5 saves, and I don't expect him to face that many shots today facing Sheffield United, but Sheffield United had an expected goals allowed of 2.28, but only 1 goal allowed, and of course it was against Crystal Palace in typical Palace fashion. Palace got the win and got the job done, but should have probably scored more than they did with only 1 goal. And Sheffield only had an expected goals of .42 themselves. I expect Nottingham Forest to have a much better first half, similar to Crystal Palace, who had an expected goals of .63 in the first half against Sheffield United. And at home last season, Nottingham Forest was quite good. 8 wins, 6 draws, and 5 losses, with the win percentage of 42%. The 2 biggest scoring chances were inside the goalie's grill last time in the box, so expect Owanai to put 1 in and bring Nottingham Forest to the win and put them up top. Pick number 2, going to the Bundesliga. The start of the Bundesliga season commences today. First half double chance, Werder Bremen, plus 110 on BetMGM. The first Bundesliga game of the season sees Bayern travel to Werder Bremen after a thumping from RB Leipzig last week in a cup game. They allowed 2 in the first half to Dani Olmo, who had a hat trick on the day. So somewhat strange, or I guess interesting rather, to see Dani Olmo do as well as he did against them, and not very typical of this Bayern Munich team. But their opponent, Werder Bremen, was good in the first half at home last season, with the first half record of 4 wins, 9 draws, and 4 losses, which would win this wager 64% of the time, and definitely something that we want to be on the right side of here. And in those games, Out of the 17, they scored 7 goals in the first half, so making it competitive for sure. And this includes a winning wager of this for first half double chance. So either Werder Bremen can win the first half or end in a draw. At home against Bayern last season, it was 0-0 in the first half. And this Bayern team is a bit different looking at their roster construction. Ulrich is the goalkeeper now that Manuel Neuer is hurt and still slowly recovering. The management of Bayern Munich has decided that he will be the goalkeeper going into, they said the season, but really up until, I would guess, the next transfer window, give them a little bit more time to scout. So he is the man in charge. And you may see a couple goals that would go in that wouldn't otherwise with Manuel Neuer in a net. And I think that kind of speaks to how the performance was kind of last week for the whole team, rather. It was a bit of reserves in. Thomas Müller wasn't in. And it's just going to be a different team. Last season, they kind of struggled with the Bundesliga, kind of slipping up in spots that they normally didn't. And Harry Kane will likely start tomorrow. And I think that he may also take a bit to adjust to the style of play. It is far different than the Premier League. A lot more high-scoring games, a lot more fast-paced, which may require him to play a bit different. But need a clean 45 in front of the home fans here for Werder Bremen. Pick number 3, LaLiga, the first of 2 games. Mallorca, draw no bet, plus 100 on DraftKings. So either they can draw, we get our money back. They can win, we win the wager. A loss is obviously a loss. But Mallorca allowed a penalty goal in the first half in their last game to Las Palmas and ended up with a 1-1 draw against them. Mallorca outperformed Las Palmas in terms of expected goals, 1.49 for themselves, with 1 goal to an expected goals allowed of 0.87. But that penalty shot really accounted for a large majority of that. 0.74 of the 0.87 was attributed to that penalty shot. Not much offense generated otherwise. Mallorca, a pretty solid La Liga team, and I think kind of flexed that a little bit here on Friday. Their opponent, Villarreal, lost 1-2 at home to Real Betis, and they also got outperformed on expected goals. They allowed 0.97 expected goals and allowed 2 in the back of the net, while they themselves had 0.74 expected goals with only 1. And last season, Mallorca had their number. Both times, away and home, was a win for Mallorca, including a 4-2 win at home and outscoring Villarreal 6-2. So those are the 3 plays for Friday. Expecting a little bit more luck here after a tough 15th show where just a couple extra minutes in extra time really were detrimental. But pick number 1, Nottingham Forest, money line, minus 115. Nottingham Forest takes care of business. I think Matt Turner faces a lot less shots and maybe keeps them off of the score sheet. Just need Nottingham Forest to put 1 in the back of the net. Pick number 2, Werder Bremen, first half double chance, meaning they can either win the first half or end in a draw, plus 110 on BetMGM. Like that one a lot. They were quite good at home last year and against Bayern at home last year. And we finish with the first La Liga game of the day, the early one. Mallorca, draw no bet, even money, plus 100 on DraftKings. They took care of business last year against Villarreal and in the lone game of the season performed far better. So thank you all for listening. As always, we will have a Saturday and Sunday show for sure. And I think a little bit better picks here for the day. So thank you all for listening. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if y'all have any plays, what y'all think of the upcoming season. Serie A is on the horizon and every other league is underway. But again, thank you for listening. Appreciate it. Enjoy the day and see you next time.